is going on? Welcome to this week's episode of the 1 Second of Strength podcast. Wherever you are, I'm grateful you're here, grateful you're listening. Today, we're talking about hard choices. We're faced with them every single day, and they not feel hard, but they are hard. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. So, I had this experience this last week. Before school, my son was sitting on the couch and he just like, I have a headache. It's right here. And he's, pointing at his forehead. And I said, well, did you take some medicine? And he said, no, I don't like that grape medicine. And I was like, well, I guess you have to choose your hard. Because you can either choose to not have the grape medicine, but keep your headache. That's kind of hard to do. Or you can choose to take the grape medicine, which is hard because it's gross, and then drink some water and be done with it. And then after that, your headache will be gone. But we have these choices to make in life that are hard. And the unfortunate truth is that life is kind of hard. There's great things in life. There's times where, it ebbs and flows and everything's going really, really well. And there's times where life is just really, really hard. You know what I mean? And there's times where if you think about it like a heart rate machine and it's going up and up and up and down and down and all those things, it's constantly going. Well, if it stops being hard, if there stop being ups and downs, well, you flatline. That's not life. That's not the way life is. So life is meant to be hard, and there's meant to be good times and there's meant to be bad times. But the reality is that in every moment we have to choose. We have to choose our hard. And I think that, it's if you think about your life right now, there are things that you are trading off that are hard, and sometimes we are making life harder because of the choices we make, right? Working out and exercising is hard. Waking up at 5:30 or a half an hour earlier, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever time you wake up, waking up 30 minutes earlier to exercise is hard. What's also hard is if you choose not to do that, it's hard to be unhealthy. It's hard when your body isn't functioning the way it should because we're not taking care of it, right? If you think about, you know, building, your business or whatever, or maybe you're an employee at a company and you're unhappy. That's hard. Applying for jobs and taking the time to do that and going through the process of interviewing and going through the process of all that, that's hard. Well, which hard do you want to choose? Because the hard you choose, or the hard you don't choose, I guess is a better way to say that, is the hard you're accepting. If you choose not to fill out the applications, then you're choosing the hard of staying in a job that you don't really like. If you're choosing to fill out the applications, then you're taking control and moving, but it's hard, right? If you are a teenager and your mom is constantly harping on you for not cleaning up or for not, I don't know, cleaning up your room or putting your dishes in the dishwasher, whatever, or maybe spending too much time on your phone. That's hard. It's hard when mom is always harping on us. Cleaning up your dishes and doing a couple of the things to tidy up and creating these healthy habits of cleanliness or time management, that's hard too. But which hard do you want to choose? And I think that's what I want you to make sure we understand today is that life is going to be hard, but we choose the hard that we want. And here's the unfortunate part is that when we choose the hard that isn't the right hard, and you know what I'm talking about. Think about my son who is choosing not to take the great medicine and accepting a headache, which is hard, right? Like if we are choosing a hard because it's an easier path, well, we are making things harder in the long run. If you are feeling unhealthy because you're choosing not to do your exercises, choosing not to, even the simple things of go out on a walk, if we're choosing not to do those things, right? Then we're making a choice and an easier choice, which is actually just comfort. We're choosing comfort. And when we choose comfort, later on in life, it's going to get really, really uncomfortable. I hope that makes sense to you because today you're going to be faced with decision. You got to make a choice, right? My son choosing not to take great medicine, he chose that because of comfort. It tastes bad. Well, so what? Headaches are painful, right? You're going to school and you'd rather probably not have a headache all day. And so we've got to make these choices. We've got to make these conscious and conscientious decisions to make a choice and do the hard thing. When you find your 1 second of strength to do the hard thing, the very next second becomes the best second of your life because you recognize how strong you actually are, that you have the power to overcome those negative emotions, that you have the power to overcome comfort, that you have the power to overcome the things that are tying you down and holding you back and keeping you from becoming the person you can ultimately become. You have the power to overcome that with 1 second of strength. But too many of us are choosing comfort and choosing the easy path, which is hard still. And the challenge is it's going to be harder later. So today, I want you to focus on making the hard choice, the hard, uncomfortable choice. I believe that sometimes you have to be intentional about discomfort. Sometimes you have to choose discomfort so that later on in life you can be comfortable. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes in life you have to choose discomfort so that later on in life you can be more comfortable. But you have to choose it. You have to be willing to go through that hard, to go through that difficult, to build the strength, to build the resilience, to become who you ultimately want to become. But too many of us are not doing that. Too many of us are sitting on the sidelines of our own life waiting for happiness, waiting for things to have happen, good things to happen to us. But all we're doing is we're delaying life and we're making life even harder for us because of the choices that we're making. Stop making difficult choices harder. Please stop. I'm getting a little fired up here. I don't know what's happening. It's just Friday and I'm fired up. And anyway, I hope you're doing well. I hope that this helps you a little bit today because the reality is that um, indecision or not choosing is also a choice, right? And I've just seen my son, myself, other people, lots of people recently. I've witnessed too many people who are making honestly the wrong hard choice, and it's making life even harder. And you do have the power, you do have the strength, you do have what it takes to make the right hard choice. The hard choice that is going to help you in the long run, the hard choice that is going to prepare you for the rest of your life. You have the power to do that, and it is going to be uncomfortable. I promise you it will be. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's uncomfortable because you're still strong enough to do it. So make the hard, difficult choice, not the easy, difficult choice. And I promise it will change the rest of your life. I hope this helps you. Send this to someone, send this to your teenagers, send this to your best friend, another mom friend. Send this to somebody because somebody might need this message today. And if you could take just a couple of seconds wherever you're listening to this, make sure you're subscribing and make sure that you leave a rating and or a review. 5 stars is always appreciated, but that's totally up to you. Leave a rating and review so that we can get this message out to more and more people, because more teenagers need this, more parents need this, more entrepreneurs and leaders and fathers need this. There's not a single person in this world that isn't faced with two hard choices at the same time. But we have the power in 1 second of strength to make the right hard choice. I hope this helps you. Go find your 1 second of strength and be happy.